You cashed in on my promises. You know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out. 'Cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now. A little stronger now. Casting on my promises. You know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out. 'Cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now. A little stronger now.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me. Hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. Can make me move. Can make me
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways. And on we'll go. On we'll go.
What does perfect even mean? Is there even such a thing? Ooh, can we switch up all the rules and imagine a utopia? Darling, I'm just so fed up with these expectations. They keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm
and alone. I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Don't stare 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. My darling dear, you're never here. When I'm in pain, you hide and disappear. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near, in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares too. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me.
Do you remember how you held me then? Now you got me reaching out. And do you see you got me falling in more times than I can get out. Down in the deep of my mind, I crawl for you and you're always inside. Down in the deep of my mind, how long do I got to keep you, to keep you? Down in the deep of my mind, I crawl for you and you're always inside. Down in the deep of my mind, trying so hard not to keep you, to keep you. Oh, you make me wanna talk back to you. Say it like that. If I hate you, then find someone new. Baby, but you know I never will. No, so I choke you down just like a pill. Oh yeah, take you like a pill.
I can never ever find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right. It feels right. It feels right. Yeah, I can only say that it feels right. It feels right. It feels right. Yeah, I can only say that it feels right. That it feels right. Feels right. So right, so right, so right. I'm just going with the gut. Never had a doubt, felt like this is just a must. Put me in perspective, I'm the deepest in the cut. Everybody tuning in, but this is just for us now. We know I ain't ballin' yet. Hoes wanna holler, oh no, I don't call them back. Girl, let me see you hold it down, we gon' have a blast. Cause I just wanna know what you gonna do with all of that.
Welcome back to the Flow State Gaming Podcast, the number one up and coming Valorant podcast on the internet. I am, of course, Golden Fair, aka Astro. Along with me is my good friend Ruben Prescott.
Hey, Coulter.
Hey,
You sound pretty rough there.
I'm not feeling great,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I have a sickness of sorts, and it's not the best. But I mean, I could have not done the podcast like you, right? But I'm pushing through.
Well, I was expecting to say something like that there. Yeah.
Yeah, you knew that was coming.
Well,
no, I
here
just
live, guys, at flow_state_gaming to see Coulter in his element right now as a patient undergoing chemotherapy.
guys, I'm looking a lot like a stage 3 cancer patient on this
Nearing
side.
Stage 2.
I mean, it's grape jelly is the only one here to see it, so we're glad that you're here, brother. The most recent peasant to join the kingdom. So, yeah, get here live. You know, that'd be nice. Do you have a hot drink tonight, Rogan?
Yeah. Not much is going on in here, you know. Not much. I did buy some Starbucks vanilla syrup, which is one of the
Whoa,
best
that's a
moves
big
you can
jump.
make. I know. They definitely pack a fat buck. And when I'm getting absolutely rammed in the stock market, it's a heavy investment for me.
Yeah, that's a luxury you can't afford, dude.
Well, yeah, you've seen the hit that I took,
Yeah.
and it's not.
Dude,
looking
did that go through?
good.
Is that done and over with?
Honestly, I don't think you could ever get so rammed, like as I have. It's max level, like bottom. I'm a bottom feeder. I was a great white, and now I'm a catfish.
Dude.
No, like straight. I live amongst the dirt.
Oh, dude.
I actually don't want to talk about it because it's getting me a little emotional.
Dude, did the Baba did that?
But yeah, we have a 4-shotter. Coulter, you're getting in me you're getting me in a sad mood now.
I'm sorry, man.
So
It's just-
we do have vanilla syrup here with some fresh whole milk, and it's tasting pretty good.
Nice, dude. Nice. Yeah.
Do you have a hot drink?
Yeah, I of course have a hot drink. It's what I've been having recently. I can't even tell you the roast. I'm trying to just get through this bag. I'm trying to get through this bag so I can get back to my DPPR, dude. I stepped out on a limb. I got an exotic coffee. I supported local. And it's trash.
Never again.
Dude, I hate it when people want me to support local and then it just sucks. You know, it's like I'm gonna go for the corporate option if it's better, but
well, they always make the excuse and make you feel like trash. You know, they're like,
yeah,
"Why are you
exactly.
buying from this fat company?" But it's like,
if it's a better product at a better price, I'm gonna do it. You know,
exactly.
So,
it's just reality.
yeah, but yeah. So I do have that. It's just black. I'm kind of on the uprise. I'm on the upswing when it comes to the market. I know you don't want to hear that, but I can probably afford some creamer, but I don't have any. Guys, this sickness that you're hearing my voice is just from extreme exhaustion, and I'll get into it. But why don't you kick us off with your announcements this week, Rogan? How's it been going for you this week?
We had a great week. I had a great week. We've made some big gains in the Flow State Gaming esports team. We had a lot of action in the Discord last night. We ran some customs for those who don't know. And this is an invitation for you guys to join the Discord. We are getting a lot more active on there. There's some people bickering in there. Like I said, they are sharing pieces of bread Coulter feeds to them, which is always lovely to see. Mm-hmm. And you guys can be a part of that, which who wouldn't want to be, you know? So that was awesome to see, man. For my own self, I haven't been doing so great with the Baba. Who knew the Doge coin holder would would come out ahead. Um, I don't think anyone really expected that to happen, but I'm still. It's weird because every time I say this, it's just the same thing. Like, yeah, I'm plat 3. You know, like, yep, plat 3. It's just always
Yep.
plat 3 or diamond 1, and it sucks being hard stuck, man.
Yeah.
Did a lot of carrying today for Jackal, obviously, because that's the only thing he lives on. Is getting carried. Not much new with that, but I've been doing a lot of research into aim labs and just getting better aim. That's a big thing I struggle on, and that's going to be our topic for this episode is aiming and game sense. Going more in depth, we kind of had a podcast episode about this already, but that was aiming and peaking. It's a little bit different. This is just going to be going a lot more in depth, getting down to like how to improve your aim and how to get better with that. Coulter, do you have any announcements, man?
Dude, I just had a random question pop into my head while you were talking. It seems like it's very, very common that you like jump into a match with Eric and he's on the bottom. How come he's higher ranked? Like, does it come down to just like volume? Is this like a volume issue? Like, you're probably gonna win. I mean, Valorant is pretty close. You're probably gonna win like 50% of your games, right, on average.
Yeah.
And you're gaining more than you're losing, like, more often, right?
Yeah, I was talking.
Like, is that
about
what
it
we're
too.
seeing with Eric?
Is like if you are, or you know, if you're getting like 50.5% wins, you're gonna be eventually going up, and if you're playing more, then you will be eventually rising. Dude, on the
Right.
stream though, I think Eric he gets extremely lucky. It is insane. On the stream, dude, every single game he was bottom frag, but it was like a 13-1. Like his whole team was just above everyone else.
Dude,
And
that's
then
just insane.
it's like that happens. You know, it happens to all of us. You know, we bottom frag and our team carries us. And then it's like it's funny because if you think about it, you can get the unlucky straw where you get, you know, imagine 50 games in a row and you're match MVP and you still lose. Like that is actually possible. I mean, it probably isn't because you're going to be better than, you know, you're going to drop down and be better than those guys. But that's what sucks about Valorant, man. Is just I think I've always said it. It's just like I think I've came down to like a final conclusion here is just it's the teams and how little it relies on like your own personal gameplay like right now on like that you can just get unlucky because obviously like you have to be good yourself to grind in like Diamond 3. You know you have to solo and duo queue.
Right.
But I think it's just I don't know. I think it's me also. I just need to.
Well, it's just that's what's always interesting to me about Eric is like he must be better than we think, you know.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I hate to say that
We
openly,
both don't want to say it.
but it's like
I think it comes down to volume, like you were saying.
I think volume does have some sort of factor in this game. But that was just a side question that I had. I was curious about announcements for me. As you all saw, Rogan took over the Thursday stream for me. He's pulling a lot of weight here these past few weeks, right? Rogan has been he's been putting on his big boy panties and he's been doing a good job. What happened?
Panties, dude.
What happened was this sickness that you're hearing in my throat is just straight exhaustion. It's I don't believe it's what they're calling the coronavirus. I don't seem to be showing very many symptoms of that. It's more like every night that I sleep, it's getting better. But I don't know. I like on Thursday when I was supposed to stream, I ended up working like 20 hours that day, or like 21 hours. And so, I mean, in hindsight, I probably should have streamed for 3 hours to finish off that day, but I just couldn't. And then I ended up working for Rogan's brother in the valley, and that's when the sickness really kicked in. My body and mind, I was just not prepared. So that hasn't stopped me from consuming, copious amounts of sugar. So this will probably be a prolonged sickness because I'm obviously getting my, venti white chocolate mocha frappuccino on lunch. That's just something that I can't sacrifice. And I can feel the sickness creeping in with every sip. A pro tip on the frappuccinos, you got to get double the frappuccino roast. That's the hack. It's double the coffee content. They taste way better. But apart from that, brother, I am feeling some type of way tonight. I don't think I have anything else to add there. I'm still in gold. I haven't played any ranked. Community feedback, man. Let's jump into it. You mentioned we had some custom games last night.
Yeah.
And guys, I'll just kick it off here. That was the first time that I realized that we have a little community forming at the bottom of our kingdom. In the cesspool and the filth, they're starting to rise a decent amount of peasants. And I mean, it sucks because I want to get better at this game, because when I was out there on the battlefield with the peasants, like, some of them were performing a lot better than I expected. and I was never questioned. It's not that it's not that my authority was ever brought into question, but I could feel a slight tension in the room. There's this when I have a peasant going, I'm killing him once and he's killing me 10 times in a game. There's something there. You know what I mean? It's not, he wasn't questioning my place in the royal castle, but it scared me to think that, I mean, in the case of a peasant uprising, I could be overthrown. So I'm going to be really paying attention to what Rogan has to say in this episode.
Well, I was kind of with you there, man. I mean, he wasn't immortal, and he was smacking on all of us.
Yeah.
So he definitely could be the one to spark a revolution.
Dude, the last thing, we might need to separate him and actually bring him into the King's Guard. Like, separate him from the peasants so they don't get any hope. Because as soon as the peasants begin to be hopeful, that's when we're going to be in trouble. So as long as we can keep them miserable as possible and, hungry and miserable, then I feel like we should be fine. But yeah, dude, how did you enjoy it? I personally had tons of fun. That's where I'm trying to go with this. I mean, we had an underage white male join the kingdom. We forced him in.
We rammed him through. Dude, this guy he was suckered it. Anyone in the chat, you guys know what we're talking about.
I mean, he was on his hands and knees at the royal gates, just begging to be let in. And we gave him a few lashings on the back, and then we kicked him in.
Well, Coulter, you opened those gates, and then you, threw some pieces of bread, but they were actually moldy, and then you just slammed the doors closed on him. You kicked him from the party. And he's just whimpering on the outside of those gates.
Oh my goodness, dude. He was an absolute savage. Yeah.
But we are willing for all peasants. Speaking of that, man, speaking of our community that's forming, we need to rally everyone together because we have a war that's coming.
I am so glad you're bringing this up, dude.
We have a big
Yeah.
war, and
This has been an interesting week for us.
Yeah. And this is between multiple enemies that we are facing, and we need as many troops. Coulter, do you want to take a hold of this? This is a big announcement for everyone here.
Well, this is a decently sized announcement. I better start from the top, I think, with this one. I know we're trying to get through the announcements, but this is kind of important. When Rogan and I were, forming the kingdom which, you now live in, we scouted. We were kind of thinking of names, what to put on our banner. And Rogan came up with this idea of like Flow State, kind of that idea. So that was Rogan. And we did like a little due diligence, and we kind of searched around seeing, if anyone else in this space was using that name. And we located an enemy fortress, and they have the same name, Flow State Gaming, but they're based out of Canada, and they hadn't been active. Like the only place I could find them was on Instagram, and they haven't been active on Instagram since like 2019. So, I mean, we assumed that they were a dormant kingdom. So we carried on, and they sent a messenger this week, via email, and that they're not too happy. Rogan, you kind of communicated directly with them. Maybe you can give some insight on what's going on here.
All I can say is that we're facing the brink of war. And the messages, they were just a little bit bloody. And I think we're just saving it for the real battle that's to come. This is an enemy that we can defeat, though.
Well, I mean,
by raw force.
Let's get serious here. So they suggested that we change our name because they said we're still early on. And I have a feeling that maybe they have a scout that's listening in. and I'm afraid that
Grape Jelly,
maybe
is that you?
I'm worried that Grape Jelly has been acting a little sus. he's been I don't know what we're gonna have to do to eradicate the rat that we have, but they're getting info somehow. They might be a listener. If they're listening, we are not changing our name. Guys, we hold the line here.
We hold like Coulter has held Dogie.
we
hold.
We hold here like you've never seen okay, and now everyone needs to know we do not strike now. Right? We're not strong enough. We need more peasants. We need more peasants before we open up this war zone. And I just want to their email was somewhat peaceful. So I want to come to them in peace now. And I think that, there's a world that we can both reside in the same land, right? We're a kingdom built in the hills and the castles. We're a castle built in the mountains. And down below, on a nice green pasture, we can let them build a little village. Right? They can raise cattle. They can raise sheep, have their own little blacksmiths. But when the sun sets and they look up into the mountains, they will see us towering over them. And as long as they're okay with that and can live with that, then I think we're fine. I don't think this needs to get bloody, but at the same time, I mean, it might get nasty.
Yeah.
Right?
Speaking of that, might be getting nasty, we have another war that is inbound, and that is fresh. And this is something we cannot hold. We can't back away from. they've surfaced, I think, in the month of this month. Definitely a recent organization, and they also they're also trying to take ownership of the name that our kingdom has come to be. And Coulter, how would you describe these boys? They are, I mean, if you're talking on the level of Eric, they're nothing compared to Eric. They're below.
I mean, this is
On
basically
several scales.
yeah, on almost every scale. If you could bundle up Moist and divide him into 5 boys, that is what they are. They are absolute scums. And I don't know what the angle is here. Dude, but what I'm starting to wonder, Rogan, is this a different enemy or is it the same enemy? I'm
They're
being
trying
dead
to attack us
serious.
from both angles.
Well, maybe they decide to grab all this land, like in terms of like the website and whatnot.
Oh, maybe they're trying to make 2 different joints.
I don't know.
To,
It just
to cover
seems
more
it
ground.
seems interesting that like we got hit twice in one weekend. Like that just seems like a coincidence.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. It might be they might be, playing with us a little bit. So I mean, my message here, I want everyone to remain calm. I can hear you're starting to rustle and bustle in the lower quarters. Guys, have you seen a pack of hyenas take down an elephant? I have. And it's nasty, right? But nature takes its course. And there'll be a day that we bring them down, right? We're going to start by nipping at their heels. Maybe Lingo or one of the elders will jump on its back and take a bite out of its butt. We will bring this behemoth down. And as we gnaw on the dead carcass of what used to be the Canadian Flow State Gaming, we will cackle and we will laugh at their miserable defeat as they bleed out on the dry, hot landscape of South Africa. That is so we need numbers, dude. We need a lot of hyenas. And we have this, right? The boys we have are loyal. They'll fight till the end. Lingo in the chat already pledging his life. He will lay down in front of a moving motor vehicle if that's what it takes to continue this podcast. And that's the message that I want to send to whoever's coming at us right now. That's pretty much where I'm going to leave it. Again, we come in peace, but we are superior. And that's kind of where I'm leaving this. Do you have any last thoughts?
That was well said. I was kind of feeling a little urge of like battle, you know? I was getting a little taste of
I
blood
know.
as you were speaking.
Well, I don't blame you.
Yeah, I'm sharpening the pitchforks. I'll be the armory for all of our peasants, you know. So I think we should move on, and we need to train these peasants to become filthy boys. I think that's our goal tonight.
Before we move on, you're correct. We need to move on, and we're gonna blast through this. Apple reviews, we got none. So change that as fast as possible. And then secondly, we did get an Instagram message from Polo. And he's been a listener since episode 1, so he's a friend of the podcast. Wondering where he can find the Discord. What should I tell him, Rogan? Where do we have the link to the Discord so it's easy? Is it on Twitch?
I'll send it to him, but we do have the Discord's on the Twitch, flow_state_gaming, and then
Yeah.
you can find it there.
So if we don't send it to you, Polo, because we're getting 18 messages a day, search the Twitch. Okay, AIM. Rogan, kick us off, dude. We're gonna talk about AIM and GameSense. We're starting out with AIM, and I think you should take the first step into this topic.
All right. So real quick, so my sensitivity, I run at 800 DPI. A lot of people run at 800 DPI and 400 DPI. It's kind of personal preference. DPI is kind of like what your mouse is in like the software itself and what it runs like on your computer when no really other programs are running. And then the in-game sensitivity, that's like the personal in-game sense. Every game is different and it doesn't correlate between each other. For Valorant, it's 0.42. I'm kind of right at the middle of where a lot of people are at. I kind of don't like it too slow, don't like it too fast. I like having precision. Coulter, did you have your sensitivity down?
Yes. So I thought maybe we could just use eDPI so everyone's on the same page. I use 800 DPI as well. The calculation is you can multiply your mouse DPI by your in-game sensitivity in Valorant.
Yeah.
That's the math. Mine is 388. My eDPI is 388. I just changed it.
Okay.
It was way high, like up in the 600s, or like it was way too high. So for reference, it is like a personal thing, but the average pro player is at 269 eDPI. So that can kind of give you like a little reference. I mean, they're playing the game like better than anyone. So I think a general is like between 200 and 400 is probably somewhat in the zone. Of course, there's going to be, thousands of people that like it higher or lower than that, but that's kind of a general if you're just trying to find your sensitivity.
Yeah. My eDPI is I think it's at 320 or around there. So a little bit lower than yours.
Yeah.
So okay, moving on. I just wanted to mention that real quick. Sensitivity is definitely personal preference. We talked about it in our peaking and aiming episode. If you guys want to know how to find that, we kind of talked about it there, but it's definitely personal preference. It depends on the games that you're playing. For Valorant, you want more of a low sensitivity for that precision because it's very precise. For a game like Fortnite, you probably want it higher since you have a lot of building and stuff, and it kind of depends on the game. And so for mouse pads, real quick, just for a tip that people didn't know, mouse pads are quite a big difference in how your mouse performs. Some people have low friction mouse pads, which are like kind of like hard mouse pads, and those are known for tracking. So more for games that have like people going all over the place, a lot of like aerial fights, and you're moving your mouse around a lot trying to track people. More of like a game where you need to just shoot a player a ton to get that kill, or far away. Tracking plays in a lot of different games. High friction mouse pads are better for flicking because there's resistance and it stops. Your mouse stops easier. And so you kind of want medium friction is what I use. I've known it's better for tracking and being able to flick, and you kind of feel that stop. If you're on a hard mouse pad, it's not recommended for that to be in Valorant because it's kind of hard to be very precise at times. You can. It's just sometimes harder. That's what I've done research on. That just goes for the fundamentals of aiming. And I'm just going to talk about pretty much all about aiming like in aim labs and practicing your aim. And then do like a little general about aiming. And then Coulter's going to go more in the fundamentals and how to get better with the aim. So this is going to be for what I'm going to talk about. It's going to be for the people who really want to get better and have an aim trainer. Aim training is definitely known to have a huge performance if you spend the time in it. Obviously, people think you don't have to be insane at aiming. You don't have to be this insane aimer that just shoots every single shot. It's also a lot about game sense and just being aware, and that's why we're going to talk about that also after aiming. So just don't think that it's all about aim. Like, people don't have to have that insane aim to be really good at this game. So just a general reference, mechanics, that's going to be aiming, movement, and like dodging. So kind of like strafing side to side. And the game sense is like decision making, positioning, and what to do when. How are you going to play that match? So you need to have good game sense and aim. There are people who do have really good aim in like Silver who will actually smack on me, but they have zero game sense and they don't know what's going on around them. They don't know what abilities like are doing. And that is where people struggle on too. So that's another reason why you don't want to focus on aim all the time. And then knowing when and what fights to take and how to maximize your damage output goes in with a lot in game sense. So that's going to be like a general basis for like aiming and game sense. You don't want to just be swinging a corner without throwing a flash or anything and just getting absolutely killed and only doing 20 damage onto a target. Like, if you're in a position and you have to sacrifice yourself pretty much, try to maximize that damage, and that's what we're going to be talking about. Just knowing what fights to take. A lot of people will be pushing a site by themselves, and they're like, why didn't you guys push with me? It's like, okay, well, you didn't even call it out, and you're by yourself getting teamed by 3 people. Play with play as a group, push together, maximize damage output. That's kind of what we're going for. So kind of a general basis here, having bad mechanics allows you more freedom. So if you're bad at the game mechanically, you're going to do some stupid things like Eric holding a judge on corners. Like, you can get insane kills and you do dumb things and you sometimes get away with it because you're trying these things. But when you have good mechanics, it makes you use smarter decisions for that, if that makes sense. Because you're taking fights in a smarter way. You're not putting yourself out in the open. So there's kind of like, why I'm saying this is like, if you're on the low elo and you're double satcheling with Raze on a site by yourself, you're getting 3 kills, like, okay, that's great for you, but are you going to be able to do that in an Immortal lobby? Are you going to be able to do that when people are a lot better than you? No, you're obviously not. So focus on working on these game mechanics to make you use smarter decisions. Okay, so aiming, why we're going to talk about it is how it's very universal and it travels between games. One of the few things. It's extremely important, obviously. It doesn't matter what game you are on. Overwatch, it's more of a tracking game sometimes. If you're good at Overwatch, you can be really good at Valorant in the aim. So that's why aim training, it's not just investment for Valorant. It's going to be investment for whatever game you're playing. So even if you're not in Valorant, I would recommend it. So my notes are so scrambled, guys. I'm sorry if you guys are lost, but just try to think of a couple things that I'm saying, and hopefully you can get something out of this. I've just kind of took notes as the week has gone by, so it is definitely scrambled, but I'll do my best to explain things. So moving on, aiming is focused directly. Aiming by focusing directly at the target increases reading skills and improves reactivity. So what I'm saying is, if you're focused on the enemy, if your eyes are on the enemy, you're going to be watching his reading or how he's moving, and you're going to be training that reading on where he's going to move, how he's going to strafe. And then it also going to improve reactivity. So if you see him with your eyes on the other side of the map, you can react easier. And then considering if you're looking at your crosshair. While you're looking at your crosshair, it's going to make you more smoother and more precise. And it's going to be you're going to be more aware of that crosshair, where that crosshair is and where your enemy is. So taking this is that you want to, when an enemy is really far away, you want to be looking at your crosshair, because that's going to give you more precision. But if you're close quarters and there's multiple people, you want to be looking at the body, like at the enemy, because you can read their movements a lot easier. They're going to be trying to dodge shots a little bit and using their mechanics to, get around you. Like, you don't want to miss all your sprays. A lot of people miss their sprays because they're looking at their crosshair and they're not looking at at the enemy on what they're trying to do. So if you're close, you can look at the enemy's body, and then you can also learn how to move from target to target much easier than if you're looking at your crosshair. So that all aside, I'm going to go on to advantages and disadvantages of playing your own game. So playing Valorant, then besides playing aim training. Because like Coulter, he kind of only wants to play in the practice range because he doesn't really feel like switching games. Like, he doesn't feel like he wants to stick straight to Valorant, you know, because he only plays Valorant. He wants to get better at Valorant. And he doesn't really believe, or he probably does believe that aim training is going to help him. But Coulter, like, you always stick in the practice range, right?
Yeah, and that's more of just like a time issue, I think, for me.
Yeah. Time issue for sure.
Yeah.
So the advantages of playing Valorant without any aim trainer is you're gonna get movement. Movement, you can't really find that in aim training. Your mouse input is gonna be the same, and then maps, obviously, being able to know the map layouts. You're gonna be able to read enemy angles and where they're at, and then also everything is going on, like, happening at once, so you kind of get a little bit of everything, like the use of abilities. Like, you won't get that in aim labs, because aim labs it's kind of solely just on that aim. Disadvantages, there's lots of downtime. This is a big issue with Valorant, is that you play a match and you sometimes don't even get the chance to shoot for 3 rounds in a row, you know? And a lot of it is spectating your teammates, so you aren't getting that much time on your mouse, which is very unfortunate. And then also, it can't stimulate situations that you benefit, that you should benefit in, that you aren't focused on. So, like, you know, you can die really easily by a raise nade back of sight, and that's going to kill you, and you can't really focus on getting away from that situation or focusing on what you need to work on. What Aim Labs does, it helps you narrow down on what your issues are, and helps you kind of focus in on what you need to work on and be more precise with that, if that makes sense. And then you can kind of move on. So, like, if you're really bad with flicking, you can practice flicking. If you're bad with tracking, you can practice tracking and whatnot. Those are advantages of disadvantages of going in your own game. And then what aim training will do, this is a big issue that I see people have, is that they have a lot of unwanted mouse movements, and they aren't smooth with their mouse. So, like, if you have an enemy, if you have 2 enemies and you start spraying at the first enemy, you kill him and you move, sometimes people's mouses, it does like an arc, and it doesn't like do a straight path to him and a good flick. And there's just a lot of unwanted movement there, and it wastes a lot of time, and it can be very, it can't really be very precise. And Aim Labs has a lot of scenarios that helps with that. And then also, aim training, it removes the fear and anger from situations. We always get mad in Valorant. Coulter and I, we rage very often, and that affects how you play. You get in your head a ton, and it really sucks. Like, you feel like trash. Aim Labs, you can get, like, kind of upset at yourself, but it's not in the same way. You still, like, you just want to get better. And that's a big thing that helps. And then isolation of mouse control. So the reason why you want to do Aim Labs, it just focuses down to your mouse. You know, it focuses down to the bare bones of gaming on, like, how to aim, how to be good at aiming, which is a very big benefit, because, you know, a raise nade is not going to be distracting you from your aim. You're going to be able to land that shot before you get killed by, you know, some ability. And then what aim training doesn't do is that you can't get any game sense from it. It's very hard to get any game sense because you're just not in that game. And when you're playing Valorant, you know, you hear all these sounds around you. You can kind of tell where people are at. So that helps a lot. And then it doesn't help with dodging. So dodging, just strafing around corners, being able to peek and kind of mess with people. You can't really read the other player. It's kind of hard to do that in Aim Labs. Coulter, do you have anything that you struggle on, particularly in Valorant, like with your aim, on being precise? And, like, do you have any of, like, that unwanted movement?
Excuse me. I think what you were saying about, like, keeping your eyes on the enemy or your crosshair is kind of helpful for me. I mean, because, like, those long shots, I don't know, like, what to look at, you know? So that's kind of something that I really want to work on. Like, we were just when we were playing last night, we were playing Ascent and just like down long, like when you're trying to peek from like if you're attacking and you're on top cat and then you're looking into market, that's a pretty long shot. And I kept dying there. So I don't know, just that kind of stuff, I guess, is what I'm wanting to work on. Like, I guess those little micro movements with my mouse, I need to work on a lot. Like, I'm usually like in the chest or, like just a few centimeters above their head. Like that's kind of the range that I can accurately, consistently get to. But like just that little micro adjustment that you need to actually get it right where you want is kind of what I need to work on. It feels like.
Yeah. The micro corrections are really big.
Yeah.
That's something that I struggle on too. Is that like you can flick to the target, but it's like getting that crosshair on their head or wherever their body is, being able to shoot it up to their head it's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
Moving on, if you don't have anything else to add, now I'm just going to talk about how to aim train. How to aim train right. A lot of people don't aim train right. They kind of just go grid shot until their hand bleeds or something. That's not what you want to do. You want to find the problem that you're having first. Are you having a lot of unwanted movement in your mouse? Are you flicking and you're over flicking a ton every single time? If you're over flicking every time, then I would probably lower your sensitivity because it's saying that your mouse is going farther than you should, which means you aren't used to that. So you should probably work on that. And then also, where is your crosshair being placed? Is it at like head level, or are you not able to flick 180 degrees? So trying to identify the issues that you're having can be very beneficial for you before you start training in aim labs, because then you can focus it down to the scenarios at hand. And like I was saying, aim labs, it gives you that isolation on, you can narrow it down to what you want to focus on. Mm-hmm. So another thing is that total hours does not measure amount of skill. If Coulter were to brag about 800 hours of aim labs and he's still garbage and he's still a bronze 1, it would make sense. It's all about consistency, just being consistent with it. A lot of people, they do an hour before they go to bed or an hour before they game. You don't want to do it too much. You're going to get sore, arthritis, like some Fortnite pros have gotten, and they've been canceled.
Take the arthritis, dude. I mean, if it sends me to Radiant,
Yeah,
I would sacrifice my hands.
The hard thing about aim training is it doesn't happen in one day. It's all about consistency. Like 2 weeks, you'll be noticing something. It happens on a daily basis after that, and then during sleep, obviously. When you sleep, you get pretty much, your body kind of knows like that muscle memory. It gets kind of drilled into your brain, so you're more used to that sensitivity.
Well, and that's the value of. Well, that's what I was going to mention. Isn't that the value of doing aim trainer, like whether it's in Valorant or aim labs, whatever the case is, like doing it before you go to sleep? Isn't that kind of the idea behind that? Is because you're going to soak up all that muscle memory when you're sleeping.
Yeah. Yep. For sure. And,
okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, being able to, because the muscle memory, that obviously comes with a lot of time, and it happens during the night usually. Like you're not going to see it happen, in one session of training aim labs.
Right.
I've been starting out. I've been doing it for quite a bit, and I've just seen like very minuscule improvements. But overall, I've noticed it quite a bit, which is kind of cool to see. Like in things that you wouldn't think would help me. Like I'm having a lot less unwanted movement. So if you're wanting to train for a while, I would probably just train for like 30 minutes, take a break, go back at it again. Don't train for like 3 hours at a time, because that muscle memory is not gonna be as efficient, because then you're gonna be getting slow and tired. You want to be alert and very very flicky. Staying hydrated. This is a big one. I don't know. I feel so cringy for saying this, but like drink water, guys. It's
Yeah,
actually
that's
insane
interesting.
on how many people say this and how much it helps is because it just makes your hands very steady and it allows your hand. I've looked at it, man. It's water. I think water is the way to immortal.
Dude,
I think it is.
Is it something as simple as water, dude?
Yeah, it might be water, boys.
Okay, well, I was slamming down a 32-ounce like hydro flask full of water, and I was flicky, dude. I was flicky.
Dude.
Look at you. You got your glass of water right there.
Well, yeah, I know. I brought this for the pod.
You're practicing what you preach.
Exactly. No, dude, I drink like a gallon a day for 3 days for like a little work thing. And I was feeling snappy too, dude. But I barely drink any water now.
Oh, dude. You know me. I drink probably 60% more coffee than I do water. I'm a decent 60-30 ratio.
60-30? That doesn't add up.
Well, 66. You know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
33.3 repeating, obviously.
Yeah, so drink water. All right, so now aim training, it has 3 different classes of like scenarios or routines. Tracking routines, which is obviously tracking. It's not going to be, you're just going to be moving around a target back and forth, predicting their movements. Like I said, it's going to help you read enemies easier and knowing where they're going to go, being able to track that crosshair on their head. Tracking does help with micro corrections because it makes you be more snappy on moving back. It doesn't help for clicking heads, and it just makes it a lot easier for predicting the enemy. And then click timing routines, which is going to be more for like head tapping and being more precise. This is not flicking. It's more just aiming to your target on top of it and then clicking and then moving to another target, clicking, moving to another target. So it's definitely going to be for clicking heads. And then complete routines, which just has a mixture of both of them. There's a lot of scenarios that integrate tracking and click timing, which helps for certain scenarios as well. So I'm doing click timing routines just because Valorant is more of a head tapping game. And that's why I'm going with that. I'm going with click timing and complete routines. It's good to have tracking and the head tap scenarios as well. So good scenarios for aim labs. I'm just going to go for aim labs. I do use Kovacs sometimes. Aim labs is free. That's why I'm going to stick with that. It's very accessible. It's very easy to use. Microshot Ultimate is a big one that I've been using, and it helps a lot. Like Coulter was saying, he needs help with his micro corrections, and this is where it's at on Microshot for the little flicks. Something to make note of is that you don't want to be flicking to these targets as fast as possible because that's not going to help. You want to flick or just go to the target and make sure your crosshair is on that target and then shoot and then go to the next one. Don't do it just by muscle memory. Muscle memory develops overnight. It's not a process you can build by just flicking and hoping it's going to be there, because in reality, when you are the majority of people, if you're just swinging your mouse and you just shoot and you randomly hit a shot, okay, that was a sick shot, but are you going to be doing that every time? Obviously not. You probably got quite a bit of luck in that, some skill, some luck. So make sure you're practicing just for your problems. Making sure that you're actually landing those shots and not just doing it just by feel and wanting to get the fastest time. It's not about the fastest time. It's about the accuracy here and making sure that your crosshair's on the target. Another one is Spider Shot Ultimate. This one, it has a target in the middle that you shoot, and then a random target on the outside spawns, and you shoot that one, and then it goes back to the middle. This just makes your pathing of your crosshair a lot more precise. So this helps remove that unwanted precision. So if you want to get rid of this, that would be great. If you want to get rid of the unwanted movements, Spider Shot is a good way. And then another one is line trace on Aim Labs. This makes it so there's like a line between targets that you have to go from one target to the other, and it makes you go in this like small line. So it makes you develop that memory of what the best path is for that target. And you just have that good mouse control and being efficient with what targets that you're shooting at. So microshot, spider shot, and line trace are kind of just the three basic ones that are known. Like I say to avoid grid shot just because it tends to make you just shoot as fast as you can and being more just rely on just random flicks. So I would try to avoid that. Coulter, I think that kind of covers it for my little aim training section here. I know I kind of rambled on for quite a bit. Do you want to take it from here, man?
Dude, I don't think it was rambling at all. I really want to, if I had the time, even in my current state, I want to take a look into a little more aim training, you know? Because it obviously, it obviously helps. I don't think there's any debate about that. So we're all trying to get better, and that's some good advice. You know what I mean?
I think a big thing, dude, I don't think people should be scared of it, because I think people just kind of steer away from it because, like you said, like they don't want to spend that unnecessary time. But I think that time's going to be more beneficial to you. Like even if you're spending just like 30 minutes a day, or even 15 minutes in the warm up, like there's zero downtime, guys. You're literally using these scenarios and it's constant flicking, like shooting. If you just like picture that on that constant, constant action of using your mouse compared to Valorant, when you have like those random plays, you're shooting your mouse 3 times a match, and it's like you're not getting as much as you are with Aim Labs. So if you are really bad, don't be afraid of Aim Labs. Even if you're not taking the game really like seriously, just do it for a little bit and see if it helps you.
Yeah, no, totally. And then obviously, if you're like me, your home is gonna be the bots. Again, don't think it's dumb to go into the bots and do some aim training there. And of course, again, if you're gonna do neither of those and you just want to play the game, if you just play copious amounts of deathmatch, you're obviously gonna get more value out of your time. Like Rogan is saying, in a regular Valorant match, Rogan hitting it on the nail here. You're not shooting your gun enough to like really get any valuable aim training, right? It's like you're coming into how many gunfights are you really going to get into in a match, right? And Rogan's already touched on that. So if you just want to play the game, at least play deathmatch for half an hour, 40 minutes, whatever it is, and you'll be getting into a lot of gunfights this way. And I think you've already said it. I think the advantage of staying within Valorant is going to be, like Rogan said, the movement of your enemy, right? You're going to get all of that dialed in, the exact size of their head, etc. And so I think if there is anything to be said for sticking to Valorant, those would be the few things that you could maybe create an argument for. And so, yeah, I don't know. I did like maybe 2 hours of research, an hour and a half on aiming when it comes to Valorant in particular. So there's just a few things here that I was gonna get into. Number one, I think people underestimate warming up a lot. I know for myself, I jump into ranked games completely ice cold, and it's like in Valorant, it's like those pistol rounds are actually so important that, guys, even if it's like literally 6 or 7 minutes that you want to spend in bots or play one deathmatch, you'd rather get that warm up like in the range rather than those first 2 rounds being your warm up. You know what I mean? Just because how crucial those rounds are towards your economy and stuff, you don't want to really just throw those away. So we've already gone over that. ADSing. I did a little research on aiming down your sight in Valorant. And it's different in Valorant than it is in other games. So of course it reduces your movement speed. We all know that, right? Your gun has a lower fire rate. We know that. This one is the one that was kind of interesting. The recoil completely changes. So the bullets will just start shooting randomly around your crosshair. So it's impossible to predict like how to spray when you're ADSing. Like we all know when you're shooting from the hip, you drag down. That's gonna, keep your cluster closer. Whereas this, it's absolutely random, and there's no way that you can really consistently predict what your spray is gonna look like. So the only time that you should be aiming down your sight is if you're looking for, you know, that one shot headshot. So I needed this. I needed to look at this. If you're like me, you probably ADS too much. I think I'm among the higher echelon of people that make this mistake, but I do see it quite a bit. So just ADS a lot less than you are, and you'll probably be fine. Also, guys, you don't always have to crouch and spray. So if you have cover to retreat to, crouching is not really the play. Like if you just peek out of a corner and you miss your first few shots and then you commit to the crouch and spray, it's very often like you're gonna get killed here. Even if you kill one, like if they have any teammate close by, you're just so committed to this battle, and you don't have to be. You know what I mean? There's obviously times you want to commit. If you get a first shot or two shots on the guy, he's one shot. Like that's worth committing to. But if you're missing those first shots, like I come across players even in deathmatch, they're like crouching every single gunfight, like whether they have cover or not. Like you want to use the crouch when you're in the wide open, you have no other option. So I don't know. I've seen multiple pros talk about the crouching. Do you have any opinion on that, Rogan?
That was like one of the biggest points in Valorant, I think, for me at least. Like I crouch.
The crouching?
The crouch. I always crouch way too much, guys. It's insane how bad it is. You have to commit if you crouch. There's no escape out of it. And like Coulter was saying, like if you have a place to escape, you don't need to crouch at all. And like if you're like, for a great example, I play CT. I'm defending on bind, and I'm playing CT looking in hookah. And if I see somebody, I'll crouch and spray, and I can like only see their upper body, like headish. Like,
Yeah.
There's no chance I'm gonna get that kill. Like it's gonna be so rare. Like it's a hard spray. It's a really hard spray. If it's close, then I would probably say like crouch because there's not really an escape for it. But dude, you're so right. Like don't crouch. Just go for like that precision. Take a couple shots and then back out. And even you can re-peek too, because you have like that movement, you know?
Exactly, dude. Exactly. Like, how many times do you see someone wide swing an angle and then they immediately go into the crouch? It's like, it's like, dude, you just reveal yourself to 7 angles and then you just plant down. Like you're rarely gonna come out of that.
Yeah, and it's okay. So, AJ in the chat, I have a hard time not crouching. Just a big muscle instinct for me to do at this point, dude. I'm with you, man. And I had one stream that I did. I actually unbinded my crouch button because I do it so much, and I think this is the answer. So what you guys need to do is grind deathmatch and take off your crouch so you don't have a crouch button, and then you won't be crouching at all when you're shooting. It's gonna make you used to like standing up and having that movement, and it's crazy the movement that you do have. Like I almost forget that I have that, you know?
Yeah.
Because when I do crouch, I'm either getting the kill or dying, so I don't really notice like, being able to move out quick. So unbinding your crouch button could be a huge benefit to you if you are stuck in a rut of just like crouching every single gunfight, like I am.
Yeah.
Coulter, one big thing before we move on, or before you move on, you mentioned wide swinging on how like some pros were talking about, like if you're by yourself and it's like if it's just the start of the round and you're by yourself and you're wide swinging an angle, like you don't want to do that because you're exposing yourself to multiple angles where two people could be.
Yeah.
And like you can finish kind of explaining this, but like only expose yourself to one person at a time if you're kind of doing those fights. Unless you're with two people, have one person wide swing and one person follow behind you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's exactly right. I think myself included, almost like, so I don't crouch very much at all. But I do this. I do the wide swing when it is extremely inappropriate. And I know that I've talked about it before, and like a great example that I think of, and I think I've used it before, Ascent Defense. At the very start of the round, just to wide swing out of like the archway in mid, like you're exposing yourself to tiles, to catwalk, like multiple angles. And I do that kind of behavior when there's 5 people alive on their team. Like there could be 2 guys on tiles and one guy is cat. Like I'm not having any impact on that round. So, like Rogan was saying, eliminate angles as you take the peak. So in that scenario, if you're on the left side of the archway, you're going to want to eliminate tiles first, right? And then work your way to eliminate cat as an angle. So that is kind of hard. It's just keeping these small things in mind can actually make a huge difference in like how many times you're dying, you know? Like I see guys swing out of that archway and crouch, dude.
Yeah.
And it's like we have guys in tiles and on catwalk, like they're completely planted. They don't get a kill, or even if they get one, there's no way they're getting out. So that's kind of a big one. So again, I'm a little bit like Rogan, kind of scattered in how I put my notes down. I think a huge... Okay, yeah, let's see how we want to do this. I think a huge part of this, and Rogan, I'm going to need some help here, is crosshair placement. I think that this is probably the biggest part of aiming within Valorant itself. So I think we all know its basic form. You're trying to keep your crosshair at a head height as you move through the map. So I know we all know this, but when you're looking at the ground and a target reveals itself in front of you, you're going to need to move your crosshair a lot more, right? You're going to need to go vertical and horizontal to get your crosshair in the spot that you want. If your crosshair is already placed near their head height, the vertical movement is already taken out of the equation, and now you just got to worry about the horizontal adjustments that you need to make to land the headshot that you're looking for. So this makes complete sense, but I still feel people aiming at, like, no, I'm not saying at the ground, but people often don't account for elevation changes in the map. Like if they're swinging out and there's some stairs there, or the opponent, you know, they could be on a box. So if you're kind of planning on your crosshairs in their chest area, and then they're on a flight of 4 or 5 stairs, you know, you're aiming at their feet, right? So that's obviously something you want to stay away from. Do you have anything else on that, Rogan?
That was very well said. Crosshair placement's really big, and the elevation changes is where a lot of people struggle at. One thing is, like, people will they'll keep their crosshairs on an angle where no one could physically be, like in an area where, like, oh, like my crosshairs at head height, I'm doing good, you know. Mm-hmm. When like they're looking at the right angle where like they're gonna come out of the left. Like, be aware of your map awareness. This is a really big thing. Kind of a little off topic, but just know a big thing is map control. Knowing what map control you have. A great example is Hookah on B bind. Just keep it kind of the same, but is when people push out of on B long when they're attacking B site. They push B long and Hookah. If you're playing Hookah, you're jumping out of Hookah, and then B long is just gonna smack you. We've talked about this before. You can't. There's no chance for you to get out of there alive. So knowing what map awareness you have, being like, okay, I'm right here, and if they push this corridor, am I going to be totally screwed, or like, can I have a way
Yeah.
out? And it goes the same with like your crosshair placement. Like if you clear a cubby, that cubby's already cleared. You don't have to clear it again. Like you don't have to do
Right.
a full 180 to check that cubby again.
Yeah.
Put like a mental image in your mind, like, okay, this spot's cleared. This entire map, there could physically not be a person there. I have to worry about this section and this area.
Yeah.
That's just the one thing I'd add.
No, that's yeah, like guys, these are all so like as far as like in the game, it's just all tips on like just how to make the situation easier for yourself, right? Like Rogan's saying if you check a cubby and then, you know, you snap back 180 and you're looking behind you and then boom, you're snapping back to check cubby again, like you're making it kind of hard for yourself and putting yourself in a tough spot to really like be aiming well. I like what you said about having a mental image of the map kind of in your mind. And this kind of segues nicely into like pre-aiming. We hear this term and it falls closely to crosshair placement, but not exactly. So like if you're going to pre-aim, what it means is like exactly like what Rogan is saying. If I'm going to peek a corner, I can pre-aim them like before I peek, right? Like I'm envisioning what is on the other side of this wall that I'm looking at. And so when I move out, like my crosshair is already in the exact spot that they might be. So like you're going to do that. You're going to want to do this for every single common angle. Like, so let's just use bind again. If you're on A, you're attacking and you want to take A short, you know that there's often somebody in U-Haul, right? They're holding that angle very often. If you're coming from the right side, coming out onto A short, you may come across an opponent on your left, just past the teleporter, holding that angle behind that wall. So instead of just swinging out of that corner dry, you can set your crosshair where you think they're going to be. And as you're moving out, you're not moving your mouse at all. From there, it's just WASD. Like you're just you're using your movement to swing out. Your crosshair is already set, and you're going to have bigger odds of getting that kill. You might need to make some micro adjustments, but like you're going to want to use this on almost every common angle that almost everyone holds. You want to set your cursor where you think they're going to be before you swing out. And just having like a good mental image of the map. Like Rogan, I've seen you do it. I've had moments. It's like you walk out, you just press A and you're just side strafing and your crosshair is absolutely dead on where their head is going to be because you predicted that they were going to be holding that angle.
Yep.
So that takes all the aiming out of it. Now you don't have to snap up for that flick. Like you're making it easier on yourself by doing this stuff.
Very well said.
Another kind of technique that you can be using is angle tracing. Again, I was just doing some research, and this is Rogan first showed me this, and I don't know the terminology that he used. When you are moving throughout the map and you're coming up on a corner and you're holding your crosshair on that corner, as you're moving forward, you're also moving your crosshair like left or right, whatever way you're turning. Like you don't want to just walk straight, reveal yourself, and then snap left, right? You would rather it be a smooth, you're eliminating the angle all the way through your movement. And Rogan really tried to drill this into me because I would have my crosshair somewhere random and then I would just turn the corner like quickly. You kind of want to do it more methodically and smoothly. Like the smoother you can do this motion, the better.
Yeah.
So as you're walking forward, revealing yourself, you're clearing any potential risk that you're putting yourself open to. I don't know how to really word that better. Do you have any other words that you can put that in?
I mean, you did that really well. I think it's like the same thing where you said like, yeah, plant your crosshair where you think they're going to be like when you swing. And it goes in like you don't have to like do it on a common angle, but also you can integrate that with like do it a little bit at a time. Like
Yeah.
if
Yeah,
you think they're a little
exactly.
bit closer, then like, or if you think they're like wider out, then like put your crosshair where you think they're going to be, swing out, and then if they're not there, put your crosshair where you think they're going to be again, swing out. Not necessarily like that, precise, but do it like
No, I
like
know what
Colter
you're saying.
said, do it smooth, like keep that mouse where you think they're going to be. That's really big. Also, if you do have a problem with doing this, if you want to go into the death match or into the range and just practice doing this, use your pings. This helps a lot because then you can kind of get a mental image on where those angles are going to be. Just ping like that exact corner, and then you can keep your crosshair right above that ping, and you'll be able to tell where that corner is going to be at and when it's going to come up. You can even
That's
do
a
it
good
in game
idea.
if you are if you're really wanting to hit that shot. I would just try that just to practice and get to know the map more.
Yeah. So now, okay, I'm gonna go a little bit off topic, and then I'm gonna jump into the most interesting one last. So this is a little less interesting, but it's something I didn't know. Letting your aim reset fully, like letting your recoil reset. So this is an interesting fact about Valorant that I didn't know. So as we know, as you're firing, the gun begins to gain momentum on recoil. It's like after the third shot or something, you're gonna have a big jump in recoil, right? So on a lot of games, if you let off the trigger, your aim, your cone will start to diminish back to its original state. And then as you continue, and then if you start firing again, it'll bloom, right? That's how a lot of games are. Call of Duty, Fortnite was like that, etc. With Valorant, you're either in recoil or out of it. So there's none of this decreasing or increasing of accuracy as you're letting off the trigger. So like I know that there's been times with me, I'm shooting, okay, now it starts to spray. I let off the trigger for half a second, then I go back into shooting, and that next bullet is just as random as the last. And it's because I didn't wait long enough for it to reset fully. And it's either on or off. Like there's none of this increasing or decreasing of accuracy. So I thought that was super interesting. Like if you lay off of the trigger and don't wait long enough, and then you shoot again, that bullet is going to be just as inaccurate as the ones prior. So you're going to still be in that spray state. So just letting your recoil reset fully if you are trying to like tap somebody down, just go into the range and try and get that muscle memory of really what that timing is. Do you ever notice that, Rogan?
I didn't know that's a really big piece of information right there. That's huge.
I know.
How it's just kind of
It
like
surprised
it's like
me.
Yeah, I mean it's like a countdown, and like right once that hits, it just changes firing modes pretty much.
Yeah, then you're perfectly accurate again.
Yeah, that's surprising. I didn't know. I thought it was kind of more of a decreasing like most games, but yeah, I mean, using the Sheriff, I always shoot too soon, man. And those shots are never hitting,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's that exact same thing.
definitely getting
That's happening.
that timing down. Like, yeah, like it's super easy. You might think it's super easy. You might think that you're doing fine with it, but you also could take a little bit more time between shots, and you might find yourself being more precise, probably.
Yeah. Like, and it made sense after I learned this. Like, there's been times, say I'm just taking a long angle and I have a Vandal. I shoot 3 shots and then I lay off because I want my next shot to be accurate because I missed those 3 or I hit him in the body, whatever. And it's like literally like a millisecond too soon.
Yeah.
If I shoot that 4th bullet, it's still going to go high, even though I took a little break off of the trigger. So getting that timing is huge. Guys, the most interesting thing that I want to dig into, Rogan, do you have anything else to add on that?
No, you covered it.
my voice is leaving me as we speak, so I'm gonna try and hammer this last point home. Um, Peaker's advantage. So we've all heard the term, and it's a real thing. And I dug actually fairly deep into this, and I wanted to break it down because for a long time I understood the basic concept, but I didn't really peel back the layers to really what this is. So it is with any shooter ever, and it's just a result of playing online with ping. So me and Rogan have mentioned it in the past. Obviously, every millisecond matters in Valorant just because of the time to kill. And this really applies to 1v1 situations. But guys, overall, you would rather be the peaker than the one being peaked. And I think that this has been common knowledge throughout, but I never really understood why. So if you're standing holding an angle and an opponent peaks you, on average, he will see you 42.70 milliseconds sooner than you'll see him. 42.7 milliseconds. And so it doesn't seem like much, but guys, this is how deep I went. The average human reaction is 250 milliseconds. So the peaker is able to react faster than you by at least 20% if he is the one peaking, because he's seeing you just that much sooner. So
Wow.
20% is that it's giving him a bonus of 20% on his reaction. And that's why so many times, we've all said it. It's like, dude, he just running headshot me. He didn't. You're getting that information late. He swung out, stopped, shot you, and kept moving. And it looks like he's just running.
Yeah.
But you're sitting there holding the angle, and when he peeks you, he has more information than you do. So that's a huge deal. Like in 1v1s, you wanna, like, I was watching this pro VOD, and he was like, anytime ever you're in a 1v1, you wanna be the aggressor. Like you wanna take the fight to them, and it's all because of this reason. So I thought that was super interesting. There's been too many times in a 1v1, I'm sitting there ADS'd, just like waiting for them to peek me. They swing out, tap me, and it's over. So I'm going to really work on that this week.
Yeah. That's interesting.
And so that kind of that wraps it up as far as what I have written down. Why don't you jump in and add anything that you have, unless you don't have anything else on that?
I think, dude, you said it right, man. Guys, don't play on servers that you shouldn't be playing on. I realized I was playing on central servers for about a full day without realizing on 80 ping. I thought it was my internet. Just don't make that mistake. I'm sure none of you will, but with my double-digit IQ, it's hard for me to process these simple things. And realizing that was huge, and I actually had
That's
some decent
huge.
games after. Probably contributed. It was weird when I went on central servers, man. I didn't notice until I was laying in bed, and I was like, man, I had a rough day of Valorant. And then I was thinking to myself, I was like, wow, those guys were toxic.
Dude.
And then I was like, wait, central servers. And I was like,
no.
wow, like West Coast people they're nice people. And I didn't experience the level of like weirdness and like they had different terms that I was used to, that I heard other people use. Like actually, it was a super weird concept.
That's weird.
Yeah, like really weird.
Like their lingo was different?
Yeah, their lingo was different, and like
Wow.
I kind of like noticed that when I was laying down. I'm like, wait, and I jump back on, and then it's like the only server that's preferred, and I was like, no way.
That's awful. That sucks. When do you think you start to feel it? Like, so me and you, it's often like 30 ping, 34 ping, whatever. Where do you kind of start noticing a difference? Like, for myself, it's like around 70. I'm like, okay, was that ping, or did he just like out aim me? You know what I mean? Like, I start to question it a little bit.
I think it's around 70. I think 70. Like I could play then at 70. It wasn't like
Yeah, for sure.
out of the picture. It wasn't like what I was used to. Like I did feel.
Yeah.
I didn't feel. I could actually feel it.
Yeah, I
Definitely, like-
totally believe you.
Yeah. It doesn't feel as responsive, and
Uh-huh.
it sucks how that's the case. Like
Yeah,
having
that's
just
tough.
ping spikes, you can't do much. You know.
No.
But-
That's interesting. Well, shoot.
Definitely
Well,
a good point. Do you want to?
Keeps you humble.
Yeah, keeps you humble. Did you want to move on to Game Sense, or did you already kind of cover your section?
My section is pretty much wrapped. Yeah, dude. I think that you should take
All right,
the next
I just have
the next
some-
phase here.
Just a little bit here about Game Sense, guys. I think aiming was kind of the main meat of the episode. So just a small section on Game Sense. How do I get better Game Sense? You obviously have to play a bunch, you know. Game Sense, it's not something you can like practice necessarily. It'll help in some concepts, but knowing the maps and knowing all that like, you know, nitty and gritty stuff, it's just going to come with time. Some things to make you improve like faster on it is just trying your absolute hardest. And if you want to get better, you have to try as hard as you can. Play to practice, you know, play to like get better. If someone's playing this angle that you didn't check, you're going to be checking it every single other round that you ever play in your entire life. Like, don't let him kill you on that angle more than twice. And then use the info that you gather just to help you clear the site. Like I was saying with Map Sense, if you get that mental image and you just know like this part of the map is it's off, there's no one there, I can just move forward, clearing site. Be methodical. I have a hard time doing this. I'm kind of like, you know, I'm fearful. I'm kind of afraid on like going on a site if it's like a 1v2, and I'm not really I'm really flicky for no reason. But just being methodical with it, making sure you just get as much control as you possibly can with being safe and exposing yourself to one angle at a time is really big. And then just like, I picture it as this really big mental image. You know, you see your mini map, where you're at on the map, and then you look at your abilities. What abilities do you have? Can those abilities clear any part of that map? Can they help you clear an angle where you think that person is? Can they provide any damage output? And then, and just using all this info to kind of help you get on site is kind of like the general basis of Game Sense and how to get better with it. And then obviously watch pros on what they do. That's obviously, they have just insane Game Sense. It's very relevant. They know what they're doing. They know exactly like what people are going to peak. And they're filthy with it. So spectate them. I would avoid spectating content creators because these content creators, they're more likely just to mess around and have fun. Like Shroud, he's insane with Game Sense. He's filthy with aim, but sometimes he likes just kind of, you know, having fun, messing around. So he's not going to be as serious as he would. So some things that you might try that he does aren't going to work. So focus on people who are on the pro level and on like playing pro games, and we'll see what they do. And then just an overview of like factors contributing to Game Sense on like what this mental image should consist of is obviously the map knowledge, knowing what control you have, and then making just those decisions. Should I push up or should I back down? And then sound, obviously, and patience. Patience is a really big one. If you're holding an angle, don't get nervous and start covering something else that someone else is already on. Look at the mini map to see where your teammates are covering. Don't have 3 people covering the same site. This is one that's overlooked quite a bit. And then just keeping that patience, man. Like so many times I'm staring at showers, I'm staring at it, and then I peek a mid just because like I want to see what's going on over there. Someone out of showers swings me and just taps me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like if your crosshair when it's not on them where they're gonna be, you're not gonna have that advantage. And then info, obviously. That kind of sums it up for my little small section on Game Sense. Coulter, did you have anything to add?
Dude, I think like so everyone knows I've been 5 weeks off, roughly. where I haven't gotten to play much. And it's just that feeling of being like lost. Like you're unaware of what's going on. Like that is the worst place to be. And so when I think of game sense, I mean like a lot of like what you just said is just like being aware of like the most likely position that an enemy will be. I think if you can somehow, some way just nail down a system that works for you, that's as simple as, okay, I know that no one's in heaven or in
Yeah.
hell, whatever that is. Abilities, communication, I don't care. Just when you're on site frantically trying to check every angle, I mean, you're too all over the place. There's too much to cover, and you're gonna leave yourself open to an angle, and you're gonna die, right? So, I mean, that's my basic thoughts, and I think game sense and aim are so intertwined because being prepared for a target is huge in actually aiming, for that situation. So I think just being aware of, okay, there's most likely they're going to come from here, etc. That kind of stuff is big. So that's kind of my general thoughts on that.
Yeah. Great,
But
great
I mean,
point.
nothing. It's just nothing super technical to really mention for me. But yeah, that's where I stand. Do we have a rumor of a new map?
Yeah, we do, man. I kind of forgot about that, but we do have some leaks.
Is that like a situation that's happening?
Guys, a new map. This is big. This is something we've all kind of waited for. Big news. So it's going to be called Foxtrot. That's kind of the rumor on the streets right now. Foxtrot, and it's going to be rumored. This is rumored, but it's going to be kind of taking place on a beach or in the tropical
go.
climate, which is super good to see. Coulter's first thought was neutral colors, which is, I mean, that's amazing.
It's weird. That's like immediately what I thought. I'm like, oh man, that sounds like good vision, like crispy,
Yeah.
They're so good with keeping the vision good in this game. I'd never have any worries, but that would be pretty sweet.
One big thing with aim is changing the color of your crosshair depending on the map. I run cyan, and on Icebox it's kind of hard to keep track of it, so I've kind of changed it to green, and I think I can personally see green easier, and other people can see different colors better, so I would switch it up and see what you're used to. But Foxtrot, man, are you excited for it? I'm personally loving the tropical climate.
Dude, honestly, if and when that comes into, fruition, I'm super stoked. I think that Icebox in general was kind of a letdown for the fans. I don't think anyone enjoyed it very much. I think that it's coming around, but I just feel like, I mean, it wasn't the map I was hoping for. I think, you kind of feel similar. I know on a pro level, no one was stoked about it. So it's like, I just want them to land this next map that's like actually super exciting. Like we're all like I want it to be like we're hoping to get this map. You know what I mean? Like, man, I hope we get Foxtrot this game. Not like, oh my word, we have Icebox, So
Yeah.
that's kind of the attitude that I'm hoping to have when it comes out, and I have really high hopes. So I'm kind of, me and you were talking. I wonder, like we were saying, every map kind of has like a little gimmick to it, right? Whether it be teleporters or zip lines or whatever. Kind of makes you wonder, what they might try with this map.
It's going to be water, Coulter. It's going to be an all underwater map where we just swim.
You can swim. Oh my goodness, dude.
What are your little do you have any first like predictions on what that little gimmick might be?
Dude, it's so hard for me to know. I don't know. What
Yeah.
if it's kind of like a teleport, but like it gave you verticality. I don't know how much I doubt that's the situation. I think they learned a lesson with verticality, but I don't know what it could be, dude.
My guess, this is complete out of the water, but having like hot take here, like the gates on Ascent, but more of like traps. Like you enable this trap, and it's like a spike trap, or like a Inferno trap. Not sure how that would work at all. But
Any Fortniters?
Maybe something that's like within the map that you can use to like use it on defending, and if it's like attacking sided, you can have those like to help you. That's just a first. I haven't
That'd be
thought about
cool.
it at all. This is like a complete hot take. Probably a trashy idea, but it might be
Yeah.
kind of cool to. I like map like integrations like that, like having map interactions. How do you feel about it? Like the
No,
gates, whatnot.
I like it. Like, yeah, exactly. Like the doors you can close on Ascent. Like I'm super down for that kind of stuff. So that would be cool. It would suck if it could kill you.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking just like 50 damage, you know.
Yeah.
Something
or like
simple.
slow you down or something.
Yeah, like slow you down, do something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Sweet, dude. It's
Okay.
kind of sad. Or wait, go for it.
One thing.
No,
I
you
don't-
had something
I don't,
hot.
Honestly, don't really mind if the map is like not good. I just want a map no matter what, you know? It's just like a new feel for the game. Like I obviously want it to be
Yeah.
a good map.
Yeah,
But like I just
obviously.
I'm gonna love playing on a new map. It's always fun and exciting to me.
I know. Yeah, no, I feel that.
People are
Like I
gonna
had
hate it, people are gonna like it.
I had excitement the first time I played Icebox.
Yeah.
Okay, what I don't want is like the gameplay to be super repetitive.
Yeah.
Like I go into an Icebox, I know that we're gonna hit A 9 times out of 10. Like 11 of the 12 rounds we hit A, and I know it's gonna be the same on the other side. And like that's what I don't want. Like I want it to be like really even on both sides. That's all I ask.
that might just be like you're playing with the wrong teams too.
But dude, like you look at pro play, dude, it's like that's what they do almost.
They are on A
Like,
lot.
They go A like so often, and like there's setups where like it's so hard to stop it that it's like you're crazy not to go A, you know?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
But-
you definitely know more than I with the pro
Well,
players.
No. It's just some of the podcasts I've listened to, like
Yeah.
almost every pro that has ever interviewed on Icebox is just like they're just like, yeah, I mean, another A hit. Like they just keep calling it every round, you know?
Wow. That's
But-
interesting. You're gonna say something. I kind of stopped you.
Well, how do you feel? This is just the last 10 minutes. How are you feeling about Viper and Yoru? We've played on the patch. Do you have anything to say? I've been seeing a lot less Bucky, so I'm a little
Yeah.
happy about that.
That
You
right
know-
click is kind of gone.
It's kind of died down a little bit.
Well, I kind of enjoy like it was kind of nice how they did stick with just like that close range. They were wanting to make it more of a just close range weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what they needed to do because like the Bucky, you were able to take those long range fights.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that's out. With Yoru and Viper, I think she like when we were talking, dude, I just started thinking about it. But, like on save rounds when I was playing, like we didn't go on her site because of how detrimental it is. You just can't run through her. You have to like wait her wall out. You kind of have to wait her util out because
Yeah.
like, you're down 50, and then they just tap you with a triple shot, and you're dead.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
So-
I feel the same.
I think in certain situations, Viper's like her post plant is just stupid, like already. And with that negative 50 health, like it's just like it's gonna be like really instant with she puts her cloud and then the snake pit.
Yep. Yeah.
Yuri,
I-
I don't know about him yet.
I will say that I did underestimate the buff towards Viper a little bit. Like I definitely think twice before I just charge through that wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you really gotta like. It can really mess up a push because, like, if your raise is double satcheling, over the wall, it's like, okay, now your raise is alone. So the rest of your team pretty much has to commit unless they want to just lose the initiator. And if they want to lose that and like that initiation, they have to go through the wall. And it's 4 of you guys cross through the wall. That's 200 damage. I mean,
Yeah.
that's insane. So I underestimated that by a bit. I think that Viper is extremely strong right now. So
Yeah, I think she's definitely got a bigger buff than I thought too.
Yeah. Anyways, that's all I had to say, buddy.
No, I'm glad you mentioned that. I kind of wanted to get your take on it. I know we talked about it before.
Yeah.
But, well, I think that sums it up, guys. Are
Yeah,
you
I think
feeling good,
so.
Coulter?
I'm feeling great, actually. I feel like we just pounded the info out that round.
Yeah, I really hope, like, I don't know. I think we both know that we aren't good at the game. We're not bad, but, like, we do research where we can help people at all skill levels, which that's what I feel good about, you know? That, like,
Right, and, like,
anyone can
yeah.
get some information from what you were saying. So I think that's going to be really nice to have.
Well, like you said at the beginning, like, yeah, okay, like, I realize that, you know, my thoughts were not organized but like Rogan was saying at the start, it's like even out of the 14 things that we laid out, maybe there's like one thing that you can implement that'll make your gameplay better, right? And like that's just the hope. That's the hope for us.
I think we both like slamming people with just like tips or everything that we can possibly like research about. Yeah, and just hoping for that one little sentence to hit you guys home to put you on another rank up.
Yeah, just to change something that you're doing where, you know, maybe 7 people have told you before, and then for some reason tonight it clicked and you're like, dude, I got to stop crouching or whatever it is, right? So, but yeah, man, that's all I got.
Sweet. And also, guys, just like identifying the problem, I think is kind of like the general thing here. Identifying what you struggle on and then like using what we said to help you fix that. Like crouch, unbind that crouch. Crosshair placement, focus on your crosshair placement. Game sense, listen to what we were saying. And I think that kind of just sums that up for our episode. I feel great. I feel good. You look good, Coulter, as always. Guys,
I'm looking a little sickly, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I saw you before the podcast, and you definitely look a lot better now.
Yeah, I tried to freshen up a little bit for the fans. Yeah.
Not
Well,
get them
if
a little too worried.
when Britain is gonna see this thing, I mean, I gotta make sure I'm on my A game to compete with our tribe that's forming.
Yeah.
Dude, we got some hot boys, dude. I'm as straight as it gets, but I mean, we got some good looking individuals in the village here. So, that's all I got.
It surprises me, man. Every Instagram
know.
message I get, I'm like, oh my gosh, is this a peasant?
I know.
It's like,
Is this a peasant or is this a model? I can't
yeah.
tell. Exactly. Yeah.
all right, guys, you have been listening to the Flow State Gaming Podcast, episode 23, where we talked about aiming and game sense. We are your kings, Rogan and Coulter. We are your kings. You are our peasants. Welcome to the Brotherhood. If you are new, please follow us on Twitch at flow_state_gaming. We are so close to being affiliated. Get us there for those who are not followed. Thank you all. It's been an honor and a pleasure. We will talk to you guys next Tuesday, I believe. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye. Rogan,
What?
are you with me, brother?
I'm with you, dude. Are you with me?
Yeah, I'm exporting.
Well, export that baby.
Wow, my voice is
Yeah,
absolutely deep right now, dude.
Yeah.
Deep.
It's like you're like missing a little part of each word more and more.
I
It's
know.
like skipping
dude.
out because it's like, you know, it's doing that
Yeah.
skipping.
Yeah. Guys, thanks for everyone that was here live, right? Another huge one. Another motivation boost for us. So thank you for that. We appreciate it. AJ Lingo. AJ, good to see you, brother. Haven't seen you in too long. Craxel, I know you stopped by. Grape Jelly, the only brother that was here at the beginning. So
If you are still here, thank you, man.
Yep.
You might be on your promotion to be a squire. Who knows? It's
Dude,
just a thought.
grape jelly is on the path to, becoming more than a peasant.
Well,
So,
I'm on the verge of demoting AJ.
yeah,
I think I'm
AJ is
gonna
on the
give him
verge.
a little bit. Yeah, he wishes he was here for the first hour. Well, get it together.
It's like I wish Doge coin was worth $10 a coin, right? But that's far from the truth. And so you wishing you were here for the first hour, that makes me sick. Right? My squire should be here on time,
I know,
right?
if you're a squire, dude, like what are
It's
you
like
doing?
yikes,
We have
dude.
peasants who are more committed than you guys are.
Yeah, that's interesting for sure. Definitely interesting. But AJ, don't retaliate.
Yeah. What the heck is going on?
It just shows AJ's loyalty. See, that's why we keep AJ here, is because he always takes the lashings so well. He's always humble, He just stays in his humble position. Dude, Lingo wants his coaching, dude. We're gonna have to do something about that.
Oh yeah. Dude,
We should
it's
make
hard
that
to
happen.
Find the time.
We
What
should do
day
it on
is
a
it?
Monday
Yeah.
because you stream anyway, and then I could watch as well.
Well, I think we just switch it to the little podcast screen share that we made,
Yeah,
and then we just coach them.
that would not be all bad. I'd be in.
AJ, we could just do it for the both of you. That'd be really fun. We could do it Monday. Coulter will not be on his stream this Friday. We probably should have mentioned that on the podcast. Coulter and I are both gone.
Dude, that just sucks, man. Yeah.
I know.
Me and Rogan were kind of talking about this. Like, it's hard to just find that point where it's like worth it to sacrifice everything for the pod. And we're getting there.
I
But
think we just have to take it slow right now, and hopefully, like, it'll come to that. I'm hoping it'll come to the point where, like, I feel like I can commit more time and be, like, fine with that,
right.
I don't want to commit
Yeah.
more time and then, like, it just be, like, worth nothing, Not in, like, a selfish way, more of just, like, I don't have the time for it, but I want to make that time,
Yeah.
I think it probably goes the same for you.
Well, exactly. It's like, what's hard for me is like, okay, like if a side job comes up for me in welding, like I have to take it.
Yeah. It's more beneficial for you.
I just have to, like, as much as I want to do this full time or, whatever, it's just tough to do the full commit when, you don't really know where it's going to go. So, we just started this for fun, and that's kind of where we're still at, but it's, it would be cool to gather more peasants and whatnot. Kind of excites both of us, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. And like you said,
So-
it's like what you obviously want to, stream, but it's like, you're
Well,
gonna
it's
be
like,
making-
where's that line? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like, when do you turn down the 30 an hour or 60 an hour welding job to stream, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a tough call. Like, and I'm just financially not in a spot where I can just let those go. So, I mean,
Well,
not that this is all about finances. It's just like, it is what it is, right? We're
I'm on
trying
the
to pay the
I'm on the
bills.
verge of being disowned and not having a home and probably being homeless because I'm pretty much broke right now.
Dude, you should probably just move in with me.
I would love to. Is
It'll
rent
probably
free?
be, well,
Because I can't afford $200 a month. Are you kidding me?
dude, what in the world? What's going on? Dude, Dogecoin. Holy
Wait.
cow.
AJ and Lingo, are you both in the chat right now? If there's 3 viewers, then I know it's just you and him. Because I have something to show you that you guys do not want to see.
Lingo, let's go, dude. Come over to Oregon. I've got extra space in the room here.
All right, boys, are you ready for the most filthiness? Oh, dude, I hate showing this.
What is it?
Oh shoot, you won't be able to see it.
Wait, hold her. Wait, draw back a little bit. She's not focused.
Do you guys see that?
No. It's too hard to see. It's not.
Negative $3,918.
Wait, how much?
Negative $3,918. And this is just Baba. This is one stock. That's negative 98% of my money that I put in is gone. And this is not taking into account my other my other stocks, which I won't go to the time and trouble of showing you guys because I only can show you guys so much pain at once. Dude, AJ, get this. Get this, AJ. You'll love me for this. Hunter, dude. Let's see here. Let's see. You know, last time we talked, didn't touch it. Give me a second here. Season 3, episode 18. Season 3, episode 18. Let's go, boys. That is grind. That is a grind, dude. My eyes are just bleeding from it. Like, on the equivalent of Valorant.
It's insane.
What were you going to say, Coulter?
Oh, I wasn't gonna. I think it was on the topic of stocks,
Oh.
but I think we let that ship sail.
Give it to me, dude. I have 10 days if a dream can come true.
Oh, you have 10 days left?
Yeah. Don't give
You're
me
fine.
hope. Don't, Coulter, stop.
Dude, Baba's up 2%.
Coulter, you're honestly making me mad.
Why? Is Baba up 2% today or not?
Well, up 2%, 98% to go.
Well, you were 100% negative, but now you're 98%. A lot can happen.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm fine, though. Like, it's not affecting me at all. It's weird. It's honestly weird. I've just came to the fact where it's just like, okay, like, it's a loss. I'm just going to go hard on the next run.
Yeah,
We both
exactly.
talked about it.
That's all you can do. I don't know if I should sell my Doge right now, dude.
What are you up?
1,100.
Really?
Yeah.
Did it go up a lot? Oh, no, it's because
It
you
went up
bought.
Well, it went up a ton.
Oh, my. 64, dude? I would hold
Yeah,
that to the moon, dude.
It was just at 66.
Wow, that's insane. I think it's going to go up more, Coulter.
Okay.
I would just stick with it.
Wow,
You're
it's
almost
dropping.
at the peak, dude. Coulter, don't look at the live. That does not matter.
I
Have you
know.
not seen those other dips?
Dude, I've just been holding for so long that, like, this is the first time I've been positive in forever, you know?
Yeah.
But I sent
What's
I
up?
sent you that.
You're demotivated? Wait, why?
Talk to me.
Wait, we
Talk
wanted to
to us.
motivate you, man. Oh, I just got my calendar notification. AIM training today at 9:30.
Nice.
Let's go. I lose games and I lose double elo. Oh boy. No boy.
Okay, guys, this is
Dude, I'm sorry, but I'm with you. It sucks on the ranking system. It's just garbage. Like it's all on wins. It's only wins. It's not personal performance in any way.
so. Here's the thing, though. I don't know if I should sell my Doge right now.
What are you up? 1,100. Really?
Yeah.
It is, but not.
Lingo, this goes. Me and Rogan were talking about this.
I'm gonna go to the restroom.
It's like, and it goes the same for me, right? I've been in gold 3, gold 2 forever, right? It's like I just need to get better. Like if you're like an immortal level player, you will. If I can get to an immortal level, like absolutely cracked aim, like insane game sense, then I can be that Reyna or I can be that Jet that just blows the server out of the water, and I can drive my way into diamond. And like I know that it's like it's. I'm glad that you're with me on that. Like, just because it's the only way, dude. Like if, like how many times have we kind of mentioned it, right? Like even talking with you, it's literally rolling the dice on what team you get. And so I've been digging deep in myself where it's like I don't want to rely on the team anymore. Like I just need to get to a point where I can literally carry the entire team. Like that's the only way to do it. I was just trying to encourage Lingo. It's just hard. Like I just need to get better.
No, Coulter, dude, that's it. I think like that's like the way it is. It's like you can't look at your rank. You just have to look at like, am I getting better? And you literally just have to carry like as hard as you possibly can, and just like absolutely smack on kids. I think that's the way to do it.
I know.
I feel bad, dude. Right when we left with our right when we left playing with our customs, Lingo wanted to play and he like just joined back in. And we left when he joined the party.
Dang
I know.
it.
I realized and he
Sorry,
joined and I
Lingo.
felt really bad, yeah. I don't know why. I feel like you guys are like some of my best friends IRL. Doesn't it feel like, or like I just know you guys so well. It's weird. It's like, it's kind of weird how that works over
The internet, dude.
Yeah, the internet. I know you guys obviously don't feel the same in any way, but that's all right. I think our intro is pretty nasty. Like, I don't know if it was in a good way.
Me neither. I just didn't want to let one rip because I don't have my voice.
I know. Wow, thanks, guys. That's so sweet.
Thanks, boys.
All right, I'm gonna play it right now. So. Wow, dude, why did my mic sound so different?
I don't know. That's what I was trying to say. It's just hard to explain.
Well, that was weird. Hopefully it didn't, like, do anything weird. It sounded, like, completely different from anything else.
I sent you the
The what? Oh, yeah.
Do you need anything else?
Yeah, you can leave. It's all right.
Well, I'm just asking.
I was just joking. No, I think I'm good, man.
Well, I wanted to train my aim. That's why I was asking.
Oh, Yeah, no, go ahead. I was just gonna finish this. What are you gonna on Aim Labs, Coulter?
I'll probably just go into bots.
Oh, Valorant, yeah.
Or I might just run deathmatch or something.
Welcome back.
Lingo's back to the Vandal.
My gosh, dude, this intro is hard to listen to. Oh no. Oh, that's
Really?
bad, dude.
Well, you jumped in there, dude.
Welcome back.
Oh no, dude.
I gotta
Oh,
be. I'll be
no.
right back. I'll be right back.
No. What is that? Dude, well, I can never listen to any intro again from us. I can't. That's making me feel weird, dude. Anyways, that was nice.
Welcome back.
Dude. Oh, how is it, Rogan?
I don't even know how to.
Here, I'm gonna listen to my end.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't do it. I would listen to it both at the same time.
I'm just listening to mine.
Oh, gosh. It's so bad, dude. It's so bad.
It's coming up, dude. I'm
Okay,
almost
Coulter.
there.
Wait, them together, though?
What?
Them together, combined, it makes it a whole nother
Oh,
whole nother cup of guac,
I don't know
dude.
why you're jumping in on my intros.
Well, Coulter, I gotta add a little spice when you're down and you're not able to provide full power.
Well, let me just listen to mine really quick.
Okay. Shoot.
Welcome back.
Dude, what is that?
Wait, oh, Coulter, listen to the stream right now. I forgot that you guys can hear this. Listen
Okay,
to
wait,
the
hold on.
stream. This is gross, dude.
Okay, give it a go.
Oh, wait, hold on. What am I doing here? Ready?
Yeah, steady.
It won't be very loud, but
Welcome back.
I need to match it up. It's off right now. But that's
Two.
just weird. Yeah. Them pair just does not really mix well.
Dude, that is absolutely nasty, dude.
No.
What the heck? Viewers went up. We got a viewer.
Shoot.
That's the first thing they heard, dude. What the heck? Yikes.
Yeah.
Well, we gotta send it, dude. There's no other way.
Well, I know we aren't re-recording
not
a thing.
We're not reshooting our intro, dude. That's the thing, dude. You guys get it raw.
Yeah, very raw. Very raw. Dude.
Sometimes too raw.
Guys, we've had episodes where we've reshot the first couple episodes like multiple times. We had to scrap one episode because it was that nasty. When we weren't streaming, obviously.
Yeah, it was terrible.
That was in the
Yeah.
early stages of the Flow State Gaming.
It was a Sage episode, dude.
Yeah, it was on the Sage.
Yeah, it was just absolutely dirtiness, dude.
Put it on the OnlyFans.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Dude, plus 2 hours of straight Coulter rubbing his nipples raw, mixed in with
Dude,
the audio of the episode of Sage.
Oh my
That
goodness,
is a
dude.
seller, dude. That is a seller.
That would
Oh,
get subscriptions, dude.
dude, the Patreons would just be flowing in.
Oh my goodness, dude. Yeah, AJ is right. The peasants would be clamoring.
Just
Oh my gosh.
I can't wait for like the news headline to be like 2 streamers found to hold 48 slaves or something like that. Like
I know. That'll be
caught for slave trading peasants.
dude, it's like 2 streamers found with 72 semi mats and containers filled with peasants.
Yeah.
Just human trafficking from India.
That's where it gets bad.
Dude.
We get a special interview from one fellow peasant named AJ.
Oh my gosh, dude. He just cracks the door from the Matson container and he just has a full beard. He's been in there for like 18 months. He just can barely breathe.
Just- For some reason, my mouse it shows that it's at 0% battery, and then I plug it in, and then it says it's at like 60.
Oh, I've had that happen to mine.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah.
What is it called? No. Which one was it? Is this it? Yeah. episode, Coulter?
What's that?
Did you like our episode?
Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was actually pretty informational.
It's weird, like, taking notes. I take notes in, like... I don't really take notes in a way where, like, I would be presenting it, you know?
Right. Yeah, that's cool that you were just writing notes down at work.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. At work, it's really nice to do that. That wasn't really like our peaking aiming episode at all, which is nice.
No, it wasn't.
It was way more specific.
It's not even close, yeah.
And that's the thing, dude. Like, revisiting these episodes, it's like, it's not hard. It's super easy to do because it's like things change so often, like new strategies
Yeah.
form, and
And you have new thoughts. And
yeah, exactly. Yeah, like we gain more information. Wow. What's going on? Dude, well, I don't know why, but I cannot stream and play like as good as I usually do.
it's like something about the streaming that gets you, or what?
Yeah. Lingo and I were talking too is like the game does not run as good. Like I have
No.
little like lag spikes that are so annoying
Yeah.
that I just can't handle.
I mean, that's probably every streamer, yeah.
Well, they use two like the big boys,
Well,
you
that's-
know.
Yeah. $5,000 a month for internet, like Ninja.
Yeah, I know. It's funny how many people say he's boosted in Valorant. He gets so much stuff for it. He gets so
Oh,
much,
really?
dude. Oh, yeah.
That's funny. Dude, this sensitivity is so much better.
Really?
It was too high, dude. It was way too high.
Are you watching the stream right now?
I'm playing
Okay.
deathmatch, but
Oh, I was going to show you a clip. That's all right.
Here and just watch. I walked underneath his trap Friday.
Wait, what am I doing here? I don't know why I clipped this. I don't think this is for anything.
One enemy remaining. A.
Oh.
Spike spotted A.
Oh, I started with a judge here. That's why. I want to show this right here, dude.
So,
Wait.
Sova hit the.
Right here. Alright, boys. Whoever's watching. If you play Raze, dude, satcheling off of this right here.
You want to stim down there, Danny?
There.
Alright, bud.
Satchel out.
A couple C's.
Ow!
Oh!
Wall raised.
It's not insane. That's all it was. I've just been doing that.
oh my gosh.
You feeling snappy?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, guys. I'm going to end the stream. I got to edit the podcast. It's not going to be very fun for that at all.
Guys, thanks for being there live.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
Yep.
If you guys have any like ideas for like topics for us to talk about that you think like would be useful for other people, let us know. If it just crosses your mind or something. But it's very true, Lingo. That's super big. And dude, like it would be really fun to coach you like on my stream. I would be so down for that. I think next Monday we should do it.
Yeah.
See you, AJ. Thanks for
See
being
ya.
here.
Thanks,
See you,
AJ.
Lingo.
See you, buddy.
Have a good one, guys. Good luck with school and stuff. Bye.